Everyone thinks that buying your first condo or townhouse is just all about timing the market and getting the best price. But there are so many more factors involved with any real estate purchase, and even more factors if that property is stratified.
That's real estate talk for apartments or townhouses.
And one of the most important details of any strata purchase is the ever so exciting topic of home insurance. I know, it doesn't sound glamorous, and trust me, it's not. But other than the possibility of prices dropping as a result of increasing interest rates, getting your insurance wrong on your strata unit might be the single biggest financial risk or expense you will ever have in your lifetime. Because if you simply insure your property wrong, you might end up with a bill for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you buy in a building or complex that doesn't have a favorable Strata Corporation insurance policy, well, that in itself could cost you hundreds of dollars or more each year that you were not planning on spending when you did your budget to purchase that property. And that actually could be the reason why you got such a good deal on your purchase. So please watch this video all the way to the end if you're looking to purchase a stratified unit here anywhere in the province of BC, because this is free information that might save you hundreds, if not tens of thousands of dollars, as you are going to find out in my example today. And in the event that you do learn something here today, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can learn even more when new videos come out. And then just click the like button so other people like you can see this video. Then just sit back and enjoy this information about insurance. And to do that, we probably should just start with the basics. And that is, when you buy a strata unit, the building or structure and all of the common property is insured by the Strata Corporation.
That means the owners as a whole.
So if the building or the actual structure itself burns down, no, you don't really need insurance of your own to cover that. But you do need insurance for all of your possessions and belongings inside the unit, as well as any improvements you have made to the unit since you moved in or that were not put in by the developer originally. And that policy will also usually cover your liability. So again, if the building burns down, fine, you're covered. But if you were possibly the cause of that fire, well, now things could get tricky. So it is very important to note the Strata's insurance policy when you are reviewing documents before going firm on any purchase. And yes, here in BC, your agent that you pick to help you in your transaction should help guide you through exactly what the heck I just said, because each purchase needs to be looked at individually by a professional. And you also need to know that a few years ago, Strata policies seemed to just start to skyrocket, causing Strata owners to be hit with a much larger bill. And although it's not commonly understood where most of your monthly payment goes for your Strata fee, the majority of that year after year is in two things. One is groundskeeping. So if you have a lot of trees and beautiful grounds for your Strata complex, well, that's going to be expensive. But the other often overlooked expense for Strata corporations is how much they have to spend on insurance each year. And with those policy rates increasing a few years ago as fast as they were, and in some cases, the Strata was forced to underinsure the property. In fact, during the pandemic, I bought a property myself that was only insured to about 65% of the total replacement cost of the buildings. But in home insurance, just like in car insurance, one of the ways you can buy down that policy rate is to accept terms in your policy that include much higher deductible rates. Deductibles are the fee that you pay if and when you have a claim against your insurance. So often, historically, Strata deductibles were, let's call it $10,000 or $25,000 for things like water loss. And that was acceptable for the time being, but more on water loss as my example in just a minute. But when rates went up, Stratas couldn't fit those new rates into their fiscal budgets. So they often went with $50,000, $100,000, or I've even seen as high as $250,000 deductibles to help lower the cost of the policy back down to something much more reasonable. And that is kind of where this issue started and where you as the prospective buyer or current homeowner need to start paying attention. And that is because your private policy could help cover part of the Strata's deductible. And it kind of works like this. Let's go back to the fictional example of water loss, maybe one of the most common types of insurance claims. Let's say that water escaped from your unit and flooded the unit below you. That could maybe be from a burst pipe inside of your unit, or maybe you forgot that you were filling the bathtub. Well, if the damage done to the unit below is, I don't know, let's say $10,000, the strata may fix that property and then charge you back. Or depending on the strata's bylaws, the owner from downstairs may end up coming directly after you for remedies. And hopefully that means that the insurance policy you bought, well, they should have you covered. But let's say you live on the 20th story of a building and the leak was really, really bad. And you damaged, I don't know, 15 units below yours, and maybe the total damage caused was in excess of $500,000. Well, this is for sure going to be a large enough claim where the strata's policy is dragged in to do the repairs. And let's say the strata's insurance deductible in this example is $100,000. Well, when the work is said and done, and the strata is likely going to be able to prove that you are the one that left your bathtub running and unattended, and then they are going to assess you with the $100,000 deductible bill that they just paid. And then this is when your insurance comes in. Because when you reviewed the insurance documents when you bought, or when the new ones come out each year with the notice of your annual general meeting, the strata deductible for each type of claim is listed there. And you had better hope that you purchased insurance to cover that full $100,000 of the Strata Corporation's policy, because if you've been insured since 1992 and your policy still is the same and only covers up to a $10,000 strata deductible, well, in this fictional example, it looks like you're about to be stuck with a $90,000 bill, even though both you and the Strata Corporation had insurance. So for sure, pause this video right now and cross-reference your current insurance policy with your Strata's insurance policy to make sure that they're in line. And if they're not, well, it's unfortunately not just as simple as increasing your coverage amount, because many insurance companies only offer $25,000 to $50,000 deductible coverage, while many others offer up to $100,000 at obviously an extra expense, usually close to double the cost of your original insurance. And another handful of companies don't offer any insurance between, like, say, $51,000 and $250,000. So there is a possibility that you may need to switch providers completely. And I'm also going to add that if your Strata's deductible is over $250,000 for something like water loss, you might want to think twice about purchasing that property, or if you already live there, you might want to consider making a move. Because a strata with a deductible that high on their policy, well, that's as close to a ticking time bomb that there ever could be in the world of real estate. So make sure you totally understand this concept before moving ahead with any purchase. And if you need to, even go back and rewatch this video. Or better yet, if you need personalized advice and you're looking to buy in my market of Surrey or the Fraser Valley, you can book a buyer's consultation with me right now using the link in the description below. Thank you for subscribing, clicking the like button, being fully insured, and we'll see you in a couple of days.